This episode on Football Today, we cover a wide range of football across the world, including the Ballon of the Week, the Performance of the Week, the Goal of the Week, Aussies abroad. What are you talking about, Marcus?
I'm talking about Riley McGree, Sammy Silvera, and their perfect link-up versus Leicester.
Oh, that's awesome. The Aussies have been killing it overseas. We've got the Matildas creating some history in England, and we've got so much more. Check it out on Football Today now. Welcome to the Football Today podcast on the 20th of February as we have one midweek game left in the EPL's Matchweek 25. Not your usual host, Alex. He'll be annoyed he can't talk up Arsenal after they've been on fire the last 3 weeks since he's been gone. Maybe he's got to stay in Asia, I think, because they've been absolutely awesome.
Thank God.
I'm your host for now, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I'm with Marcus Bazzano, back-to-back strong weeks for Chelsea, so he's up and about. How you going, Marcus?
Yeah, no, it's looking a little bit more promising, so I can't complain.
Can't complain, yeah. At least we've got some positive things to talk about with Chelsea.
Not losing to City this season, home and away, I'll take that. Yeah,
that's a great effort. This is a huge show, including Performance of the Week, as always, Ballon of the Week, Goal of the Week, a trivia question from Leo that we're always nervous about, previewing some midweek games. There's one from Matchweek 25 and then another one from Matchweek 26. We've got a bit of Aussies abroad, lots happening, some Aussies dominating overseas, and a bit of everything in this show. So let's get right into it. As always, we start with a big yeah, nah. Marcus has written an interesting one in here that I can't even believe is on track. What's this one, Marcus? Cool. The yeah, nah for today.
The yeah, nah is, will Sheffield United break the Premier League record for goals conceded this season? The record is 100 by Swindon Town, my very own.
That is
my
so
very
many.
own Swindon Town in 93-94. But that was a 42-game season. Of course, this is a 38-game season. Sheffield are currently on 65 goals conceded and on track, if they keep up their conceding rate, for 99 goals. So about that 100 mark.
I'm going to say nah because of that is a little bit more of a stretch. But you said they're on track for 99, which does surprise me. They did beat Luton. They actually looked all right that game a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
I think they could still get a few random results like that and not concede more than 2 goals because they have to concede over 2 goals a game pretty much at this rate.
Well, they're currently conceding 2.6, and if they continue on that trend, it'll be 99 goals.
Yeah, I think there could definitely be a few smashings as we've already seen. But if they do somehow concede more than 100 goals, I think this could potentially be the worst season of all time. If you're conceding the most goals ever and you're playing 4 less games, that's really bad. I don't know about points wise because
Derby has the lowest points total. But where do you think that compares for Derby's lowest points total versus 100 plus goals conceded? What's worse?
I would say the 100 plus goals conceded because they're literally playing 4 less games and they won't be far off the point. If they're conceding that many goals, they're not going to be far off the points
Derby
total.
Finished 11 points
whatever
as the lowest points total.
Okay, Sheffield have already...
Sheffield are already
13.
past that.
They're flying past that.
Well, Burnley are thereabouts. They're only in 13 as well, but it's a bit of a worry.
Maybe I'm being a bit harsh for the worst season ever. But yeah, I'm going to say nah because... I know 99, but I feel like they could get a few decent results. They're not as bad as the worst teams of all time. So I'm going to say nah, but it'll be really close, especially when they're on track for 99. What are you leaning towards?
Again, I'm leaning towards nah, just because I think with Chris Wilder in, I think it'll shore things up a little bit. Yes, they conceded 5 against Brighton, but to be fair, they were 10 men for basically 80 minutes, I think it was. Geez, if they do concede 100 plus though.
Should you get relegated twice? If you concede the most goals. Should you go down from the championship all the way to Div 1 or something?
No. None of that.
No, that's probably a bit harsh. But that's funny. You should have worn your Swindon Town kit today.
I know. I should have worn my Swindon Town kit.
We'll have to talk about them next time. But yeah, that's an interesting one. And we'll keep track of that. We'll have a little segment, I reckon, on this show where we keep track of how many goals they concede each week.
100%.
Just to see if they can beat the record.
Yeah, I reckon. Let us know in the comments if you think they will break that Premier League record for goals conceded in the season.
Yeah, let us know. All right, we love talking up Big Ange. We love supporting Big Ange here. Not so much Tottenham all the time, but definitely Ange Postecoglou. As you've written down here, what have you got there? I don't know if we can read this
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe Sorry, you got to bleep that out, Joe.
That's the famous Italian that's the manager said that, yeah.
Tottenham 1, Wolves 2, was a João Gomez brace. Wolves were pretty good in that game. Tottenham, Kulusevski's goal was great.
Yep.
But again, I think they're just going to be like this season under Ange. First season under Ange, they're probably lacking a little bit of squad depth to sort of break out through a whole 38-game season and be consistent. So I think you'll just have to put up with some of these results, but it's a bit of a blow for top 4. They drop out now.
I know that was their game. Obviously, Aston Villa won as well, so they're back in the top 4. But that was their game to jump back in and just solidify a bit more than they were. So they've obviously dropped out. Everyone probably would have penciled him as a win. If it was at the Molineux, everyone would have gone, oh, Wolves have a big chance. Wolves have had a few results like that this season. I know they're 11th, but they're having a really good season.
Gary O'Neill's been really good.
Gary O'Neill, they've obviously had a few manager changes and things like that, and he's been awesome.
He could be up, like, in terms of manager of the season awards at the end of the year. Could he be up there?
I think they would have to finish, where would they have to finish? Well, they're now 11th.
They'd have to finish top half.
Because they could still finish above. They could even finish 8th on the table at the moment, the way it's going. So I reckon they'd have to finish top 8 for that to happen, because otherwise it's a bit hard. But yeah, he's having a great season, isn't he?
Yes.
That rolls into performance of the week. We're going to do on the spot. We've got our favourite moments of the week. Performance of the week is that man again.
Yep, Marcus. I'll just roll in and go Gary O'Neill. Short and simple. He's done a superb job at Wolves manager after being ungracefully sacked by Bournemouth for Areola after he kept them up, but beating Spurs away is no easy feat. Big teams struggle to do that. Well, it's not so much 3-point lane anymore, but Wolves are getting 3 points here.
Well, I think they'd won 5 league home games there straight, so they've snapped that streak. And Wolves obviously did that to Chelsea. They've been really good away. In the past, Molineux's never an easy place to play, but they've been pretty solid away the last 3 months or so. They've been really good.
Yep.
I know people might hate on me for this being a Chelsea fan, but I'm going to say Chelsea's the performance of the week. No one would have, in their right minds, picked the Blues to go into Etihad and get a point. I think we both predicted an absolute whomping of 5+ goals because obviously Man City scored 4 goals.
And that's coming from 2 Chelsea fans as well.
Yeah, I was not predicting this at all. I just think that was an amazing performance. I know that Man City had a lot of shots. A lot of them were a bit wayward. You had Chelsea on the counter-attack. Probably should have finished. Nico Jackson needs to learn how to finish.
Missed a little bit. Sterling missed a pretty easy chance, but he made it up by a good finish.
It was a great goal.
Haaland had a day off, didn't he?
He did. He was a bit more Nunez-like than Haaland-like. He was missing a few. He should have. City definitely
at least on target.
Should have scored a couple more goals, but I think Chelsea should have scored.
Equally, we could have had 2 or 3 at half time. First half was really good, but then we went a little bit more defensive, and I think that played into Pep Guardiola's side's hands a little bit. And Rodri again. Rodri just happens to do it.
I know, he just gets him out of trouble all the time, doesn't he? He's a freak. He's still underrated, I reckon. People don't talk about him enough. He's an absolute star.
Underrated's a big call.
I think he is. I don't know.
I think he's
just because he's a defensive midfielder. People, I feel like, don't talk up defensive midfielders enough compared to your strikers and your wingers and your midfielders. Anyway, Chelsea performance of the week, probably be a little bit biased, but I just think that was a great result and a little cheer for Chelsea for once. That we're still. Where are we still 10th? So move back up to 10th. Woohoo! That's not a great season, but a little win for Chelsea, getting a point that no one thought they would. All right, Ballon of the week. Who's not hot, Marcus? Who have you got?
Mason Holgate.
I was going to put him in as well.
It was a ridiculous challenge.
Could have broken his leg.
He's going to get weeks for that. Absolute weeks, because that was shocking. And he's looking around. I hate the Sheffield fans booing after the decision after he got sent off. I'm like, mate, he almost amputated the lower half of his leg.
It was a hematoma,
and he would have been half a walking nugget. And you're doing that. So Mason Holgate is my bellend of the week for almost killing someone.
I'm going to go 2 votes to Mason Holgate as well. Yeah. He's in there. That was shocking. He could have literally ended someone's career. So that's not what you want to see on a football field. My bellend of the week, the whole Newcastle team. I literally said this was the doomsday scenario. Them dropping points to Bournemouth at home.
Oh yeah.
St James Park. Everyone goes, they've got the biggest fans. They like to say they got the biggest fan base.
Yep.
They like to go crazy there. Well, make sure that you at least get a win at home. They've been shocking at home the last couple of months. I think their whole team, it just needs to smarten up. I don't know if it's Eddie Howe. A lot of people are saying, it's Eddie Howe. I don't think it's Eddie Howe's fault.
think it's Eddie Howe.
I think a lot of their, even the likes of Almiron, a few of their players have dropped off this season and really didn't take that next step that people thought they would. So the whole Newcastle team, absolute balance at the moment. I would be so filthy if I was a Newcastle fan that each week they're just losing points. Obviously Bournemouth aren't too bad, but they should be beating them at home with the amount of quality players they have.
They were pretty unlucky to concede that first goal, weren't they, with the slip by the goalkeeper.
They were,
So Solanke just tapped into empty net, but they haven't been great. Like you mentioned, we sort of were like, are they up now because they've won 2 out of 3, but then
they just drop off.
Yeah. And Matt Ritchie, that was probably fairly lucky to get the equaliser as well.
I forgot to say that. I know that Solanke was lucky to score, but they literally scored in the 92nd minute just to even get a draw at home. If it was the other way around, I'd go a bit unlucky they conceded late. They had to literally score in the 92nd minute to get a draw. So.
And it was a free header it was a free header that was going sideways and then deflected from the defender straight back to Matt Ritchie, who tapped it in.
Oh, yeah. So
Pretty
if
stiff.
I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be a little bit worried at the moment, especially after making Champions League. And now they've got no chance of making Champions League this
Yeah,
season.
I think it's a bit of a failure if they don't make Europe this season. They've got to make Europe at least.
What is it? Top 7 most likely?
It could be. I think it could be 8 if the coefficient comes in because everyone will drop a spot. But like finishing 8th, you have to go through like a playoff to get into the Nations League.
So we're
into the
8th now.
Conference League.
West Ham have been horrible. Chelsea can somehow sneak into 8th at the moment, possibly.
Well, yeah, Chelsea are only 3 points. Well, Chelsea and Wolves are only 3 points off Brighton in 7th.
If I'm picking out of those 4 teams, Newcastle, West Ham, Chelsea, Wolves, I'd be going Wolves are the better team at the moment, I think. Like in terms of the way they've been playing and the output they're doing. But then you could also argue Chelsea.
I still fancy Brighton.
Brighton are still 7th.
Or possibly Newcastle.
Okay.
But Wolves are definitely within a shout with the way they're playing.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's Ballon of the Week. There was plenty this week, actually. Goal of the Week. There was a few as well. What have you got?
Well, a bit underwhelming for goals of the week. I don't
okay.
think it was the greatest week compared to others, but I'm going to go for Jordan Ayew this morning.
That was a good goal.
Yeah, it was a good finish. The game needed the deadlock to be broken. It needed something special. And Jordan Ayew, he's just been doing it for Palace for like 30 years.
30, he does look older. He's not even that old, I don't think.
I understand that he's probably been there.
32, yeah. How many years
you've got to check how long he's been there, but it was a great finish.
He started there when he was 2, yeah.
Just about outside the box and down to the far post, beating Jordan Pickford.
Yep. He's been there 6 seasons, I think. Is that right? Yeah, so that's a really good effort from him to keep scoring goals. What has he got now? 3 goals, 5 assists, not too bad. He still can be better, yeah.
He got sort of pushed away a little bit by Roy Hodgson. Didn't get the best out of him, but
injuries as well,
scoring ways.
Yep. I'm going to go Darwin Núñez. The only time he scores a goal is when it looks really good. So, I know people say he was 1-on-1 with the keeper. He started to chip. I thought a chip in any circumstance was awesome.
It has to score that, but it was a good finish.
I just thought I love those type of goals where you got the counter attack. Really good play by Liverpool. Yeah. And in a lot of players in the league would miss that, I think, if they're trying to go for the chip. He was a perfect chip over the keeper, and I just, love a good chip. I love doing them in FIFA and things like that. It's good fun. L1 triangle is good fun.
At least he didn't hit the post this time.
Yeah,
he could have spreaded it to Jota.
Yes,
because Jota actually won the header somehow.
That's right. He could have. Yeah, actually, that assist was it the assist?
Yeah, he won the header on the halfway line.
Yeah, that's right.
You shouldn't be losing the header to Diego Jota. I know he scores his fair share of headed goals for a small lad, but I don't know. I don't match him up against the guy who won't win a header against Diego Jota and you won't go down 1-0.
True. Yeah, but I just wanted to give Núñez a shout. Everyone bags him for missing a lot of shots and he got a good one on the weekend.
He cops a lot of flack.
Yeah, but he's still a very good player, obviously. He's got the most chances created, equal with Haaland this season. I had a look at this season. So, which is crazy because Haaland missed so many games and he's still up there with the chances created. But yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one. Mackenzie Arnold, the best save of the Macca, the best save of the week. What have you got for us, Marcus?
Well, just from what I saw over the weekend, watching the full game, Manchester City, Chelsea. They're going to go Edison with a double save. There was
really good.
There was a cross low into the box. Gone for a tap in. I know it went straight at him, but reflexes sort of stuck a leg out, saved it, falls to Ben Chilwell on a tight angle, goes to his legs, but saves it again and then cleared out. And that was a crucial moment in the game. We were 1-0 up at that point, and that could have made it 2-0. And then I wouldn't say put the game to bed because City can easily score 2 goals in 5 minutes, but it was a little bit of a safety cushion for Chelsea. So I'm going to go Edison.
Yeah, nice. I'm going to go Emi Martinez. If it obviously showed at the world, I don't like him that much. I think he's a bit of a flog, but he's still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He obviously showed the World Cup. What was it, the 117th minute or something like that, where he got that crazy save to stick his leg out. He does it in the Premier League a lot as well.
Made a crucial save against Australia in the World Cup as well.
He's frustrating. You can't get past him. I know they got a goal. That was a bit lucky. Fulham got a goal, but then it was 2-1 towards the end of the game. He got a really good save, a couple of good saves towards the end of the game. I just think he's one of the most clutch goalkeepers in the world. If the ball's coming down there, you know he's going to save it. If it's past the 80th minute because he's so clutch. So I'm going to talk about Emi Martinez. All right, we've covered our goal of the week, performance of the week, ballon of the week. Let's get into the games and all the other games that we haven't talked about. First one up on Matchweek 25 was Brentford 1, Liverpool 4. Yep. Brentford, not good
Brentford,
enough.
Defensively were horrible, made too many mistakes, and that cost you against a Liverpool attack that is ruthless.
Yeah, the simple as that. I think everyone thought Liverpool were going to win this pretty comfortably, but Brentford just... It was more to their play from a couple months ago before they got Tony back and things like that.
I think going back to last week's show, that's Liverpool's first ever win against Brentford at GTEC Community Stadium.
Which is crazy. That's an awesome stat. Yeah. So now they've ticked that off. They've probably beaten everyone now in every stadium. That was probably their last one that they needed to tick off. Burnley 0, 5 goals to Arsenal. So Alex would be going crazy over in Vietnam, I believe he is now the usual host. They were awesome, Arsenal. They've shown the last, 3 or 4 matches. I think. I saw a stat based on that. I think it was the last 5 Premier League games they've scored like 21 goals or 22 goals or something like that, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, actually, I'll go through their. What have they got? 5 goals. Here we go. Yeah, 5 goals, 6 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, 5 goals. So they're literally just killing it in attack. You got Saka scoring on both feet. You got everything's clicking for him at the moment. I know it was against Burnley, but those are the type of matches you need just to get above the other teams.
100%. And especially like goal difference wise, I think it's all very similar. I think are they equal with City, Liverpool? It's very even. Their goal difference 36 for Arsenal, 35 for Liverpool. 31 for Man City. So it could all come down to that at the end of the season with it being so close. But again, a similar story to the Liverpool game. They were just ruthless and Burnley just aren't that good at the back. No, they're not. Well, they're not good anywhere. But pretty much. Next one, what do we got? Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 2. We quickly touched on that. It was actually a really good game. There was a lot happening. As you mentioned, entertaining draw there. I'd be filthy if I was a Newcastle fan. They're probably lucky they ended up with a draw. But also unlucky that Dubravka had to fall over and Solanke scored that goal, as you mentioned. He would have been filthy with that. And Bournemouth will take these points. In terms of a relegation battle, they're 8 points far from the relegation side. They're probably fine, but every point matters. No, definitely. And they've actually been pretty good second half of the season. Solanke obviously is killing it. You got a few other guys in their midfield. They've got all these guys that have really improved. I wouldn't be surprised if a few other teams. Well, I think the top scorers is like really weird. It's like 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Oh, really? Yeah, it's like weirdly in order like that. And it goes, I think it goes Haaland, Salah, and then Solanke. Ollie Watkins. So it just shows that he's right up there as one of the premier forwards and he's so crucial to Bournemouth. Be interesting to see if someone picks him up or something like that. But he probably will stay at Bournemouth. Next one's Fulham 1, Aston Villa 2. Not that convincing. Obviously, Fulham got a goal back. Villa probably should have scored a few other goals themselves, but they're back into the top 4 as we just talked about that Tottenham lost. So I'll be happy with that. Villa weren't great, but they do get back in the top 4, which is huge for them. Definitely. Notts versus West Ham. Notts won 2-0. This is a huge result for Notts. The home crowd was going crazy. I think we talked about this last season. It's actually a very rowdy. I think it's because it's a bit small. It's so. I think it's so narrow, and the fans are so close to the pitch. That's awesome what I love about, particularly stadiums. That's why I don't like stadiums like London Stadium for West Ham's, for example. That's why I don't really rate the Etihad, but I rate Stamford Bridge and stuff because it's so close to the pitch. Similar to I've been to Selhurst Park, and that's the best atmosphere. It's just like everyone there's in on it. Everyone loves the club. There's no corporate, no this, that. Same as Notts, and they were up and about. West Ham did get a red card. Was around half time, I think. And then that was a little bit stiff, I reckon. There was probably a bit of a high boot from Calvin Phillips, but Notts were just really good. They had a lot of chances. My boy, Callum Hudson-Odoi, I'm so glad. Back on the score sheet again. I think he scored in 3 of the last 4 games for Notts. He's been awesome, so good on him that he's finding some form. West Ham, each week on this podcast, I say they're getting worse and worse. I think they've dropped a spot every 2 weeks on the table. So now they're down to 9th. Wolves and Chelsea are chasing them on that 9th spot. With Calvin Phillips' form being so horrendous, does he go to the Euros now? Does Gareth Southgate still? Gareth Southgate bloody loves him there. Do they still go Henderson and Calvin Phillips? Oh, Henderson's about 50 and Calvin Phillips has given away at least 2 goals since he started at West Ham, and he just got sent off. Actually, that means he won't be playing another game, and then I don't know. It'd be interesting. We'll have to do a bit of a segment on that and who England might pick because they've got so many options. Kobe Mainoo's putting his hand up at Manchester United as well. Was it Kobe Mainoo that can play for another country as well? Was it? I believe so, but I think he wants to play for England. Yeah, I think he's waiting for someone from the England sort of camp to go. Yeah, we'll take you, and then if he doesn't, he'll just go. I think it was Ghana. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check that. That'd be interesting to see if they pick Calvin Phillips there. Yeah, he's been shocking. West Ham will be filthy signed him. And West Ham have had the worst record in the previous 5 games. In the league. With Burnley. Jeez. 2 points from 5 games. How many games ago did I talk about? Probably about 7 games ago. 7 games ago, you were on their back. You were loving them. Oh, they're better than everyone's saying. You were riding them so hard down the What are you doing to me, West Ham? You're absolutely dogging the boys. Dogging the boys. All right, next one. I'm sick of talking about West Ham. Tottenham 1, Wolves 2. We already talked about it a little bit, but really good result for Gary O'Neill and Wolves. They keep
they'll have a week off where they go, oh, not great, and then they'll bounce back like that. So they're actually a pretty good team, and they're building into something, maybe even for next season, I reckon. Next one we already talked about as well a little bit, but Man City won, Chelsea won. Come on, got to draw it. Eddie had. You're right, 2 points this season, no losses to Man City for Chelsea, which is a really good effort.
Which I mean, like a little bit frustrating because a part of me feels like we could have held on for that win that Eddie had. So I'm still happy with a point, but would have been more happy with 3, obviously. But that just means the title race. Forget about Chelsea for a second. This title race is going to be absolutely nuts.
I've got a bit of money on Liverpool, so I was very happy that Chelsea could get a draw there because now Man City don't have that game in hand. They got the game in hand, but not the points in hand. So if they win that game in hand, they're 56, Liverpool 57. So
Arsenal 55.
Man City are playing on Wednesday morning, so I think, who are they playing again?
Brentford at home.
Brentford, so they should win that, you'd think. But then Liverpool still have that point advantage, which no one thought was going to happen, especially that draw against Chelsea.
And City, I saw the next run of 6 or 7 fixtures, and City actually have probably the hardest out of the Arsenal and Liverpool for the fixtures coming up.
Okay.
But it's going to be crucial because it'll be the sides who play against each other. So I think Man City have got to go to Anfield, I believe.
Yep. Yes, they do,
And I think and then there's the Manchester derby coming up in 2 weeks.
Yep. And Man, you haven't been too bad,
And Man, you haven't been that bad. So, geez, it's going to be good.
It's going to be really good. This is as I mentioned before, it's the closest sort of top 5 we've had in 10 years. So it's a really good because this time of the season everyone goes, City's got it in the bag. But results like that mean it's going to be really close at the. And we still think it's Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, but it's still really close. So very excited for that. Next one, Sheffield United 0, Brighton 5. Brighton, they do this every now and then. They'll put up 5. I know Sheffield United got a red card as well. That was really early. But Brighton made the most of it, and they're really good in attack once they get going.
They did, and Sheffield down.
Yes.
Sheffield and Burnley are down, unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
But this is what Brighton, they're just a weird side at the moment, aren't they? Like everyone was loving De Zerbi, then they were in a low patch of form, and then now that they don't really have Europe like in the way of that, they've been inconsistent. They'll win 5-0, then they'll lose like 3-1.
Crap,
So good result for Brighton.
Yeah, they'll take that. I think you wrote down here that I was going to mention him as well. Dingra, awesome. He's been actually really good the last few months as well for Brighton. We were talking up Matoma. We were talking up Ferguson at the start of the season. They're not that they've gone missing, but they've definitely dropped a little bit of form. Dingra stepped up and he's been really good.
Yep. I think he scored a brace, didn't he? I think in that game. So he's been excellent.
Good on him. Luton Town 1, Man U 2 is the next one. What do you got written down here?
Well, I've got Manchester United were pretty lucky very lucky for both of their goals.
They were a bit,
obviously, the defensive mistake 15 seconds into the game.
Yeah, that was horrible.
And then Højlund still had a lot to do, but one-on-one should be scoring. Scored in his rich vein of form. He just keeps scoring, doesn't he?
Yeah, was it 7 in his last 8
6 or 7 in a row.
In a row.
Yeah, so
crazy.
It's been very good. And then the second goal, obviously, as well, which was Garnacho's volley, which was going well wide, and then Højlund almost offside, sort of just chests it in.
Yeah, it was good.
So, Luton did score probably a fairly lucky goal, sort of deflected, but Carlton Morris got on the end of it.
They were actually pretty solid, Luton. They were up and about because Harry Styles was there. He was cheering them on, and they were like, "Oh, we got to win for Harry Styles."
Well, wasn't he at? Was he at the Everton game as well?
He might have been.
I'm not sure.
I don't know who he supports. Maybe he just likes the lower teams. So
maybe he just loves.
I respect
football's
that.
the real winner.
Yeah, I think he's the first celebrity ever to rock up at Kenilworth Road. But that's pretty harsh.
No, they were been great though. Manchester United, like winning games like these. So I reckon the Manchester derby is going to be a crucial game for me to say whether, you know what, they're actually back on track and could.
Yeah, even if Man U lose that, is it at the Etihad or is it at?
I think it's at the Etihad.
Even if they lose that, but they put up a decent fight, we're going, all right, Man U, look, their plans are coming in because the last couple of months they've obviously won a lot of games. So that game, could decide whether they're going in the future. Last game that we're going to talk about before the final game, which is on Wednesday morning, Australian time. Everton versus Crystal Palace was this morning, 1-1.
Yep.
I thought this game had draw written all over it before it even started. First game without Hodgson, I saw you written here. That pretty solid, both teams. They got a game back, but they're sort of on the same path at the moment where there's not really too much going on in attack. Not much creativity in midfield. So it was always going to be a draw.
It wasn't a great game to watch, was it, to be honest? But, geez, Everton scraping away with a point again. Onana coming to the rescue.
Yeah.
In the, I think it was the 83rd minute. But I wasn't surprised when I woke up and saw the scores that were 0-0 at halftime.
No.
I wasn't surprised.
That could have been the easiest bet ever, just 0-0 at
0-0 at halftime.
But then I would have said, it'd probably be 0-0 at full time, and then it ended up being 1-0. But I think that's a probably fair result for both teams because they're both tracking along not too well at all. So,
they're both pretty crap, basically.
All right, let's have a little break for now. Check out, I'm going to talk about cricket today, I think, in the next part. And Leo's got a trivia question coming up next. Lock in for a huge summer of slog sixes, rattle bails, and classic snags with the daily Cricket Today podcast. Keep up to date with all things BBL, BBL Supercoach, tests, ODIs, and T20s this summer, as well as the highlights and socials all season long. Search Cricket Today on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All right, welcome back to the Football Today podcast. We've got a trivia question, as always, every episode. I think I'm in the lead now. Alex is gone.
Ooh,
He'll be filthy listening to this in Vietnam, the usual host. What do we got this week, Leo? Apparently it's an easy one, but we'll probably stuff it up somehow.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy if you've been paying attention to some noteworthy stats this EPL season.
I should. That's my lingo.
Which player has recorded the fastest top speed this EPL season?
Stats guy.
Marcus.
I know this one, I think.
Van der Ven.
Yeah, I knew it. You just got in for.
Come on.
I knew it. Mickey Van der Ven.
There we go.
Damn it. Oh,
he was
filthy with that.
He was rapid. He was chasing. He was running back, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's a big man.
Counter-attack.
How tall is Van der Ven? Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's crazy how a big guy can run at that speed. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, 193 centimeters. Phew, that's an awesome. I knew it was him because it was that weird stat that everyone's gone, why the hell is Van der Ven up there? Good question, Leo. I'm filthy that he didn't say that I got in first. I might have to VAR. I definitely didn't, but VAR that. Oh, I'm filthy with that one. But I think,
come on.
Marcus needed that anyway.
I'm back in the race. I think I'm like equal with Alex now, or in front of Alex even.
I was definitely in front of Alex.
Close.
I don't know. I think you're talking absolute crap.
Gerald thinks I'm talking crap, but
I don't remember you getting one in the last 3 weeks. So
I got one the last show, you mug.
No, I did not. I got it.
No, I got it. What are you on about? You got the first one. I got the second one.
The third one. I only remember the good moments. Anyway, let's continue on with the show. Thank you very much, Leo. That was a very, very good question there. I'm on the wrong run sheet. I better get the run sheet back up. Midweek EPL Matchweek 25 finishes off because Man City have to make that play that catch-up game against Brentford. So this will be a really interesting match. Brentford, at their best, I reckon they can score a goal or two, but as they showed on the weekend, they were horrible in defence. That's their worry. They've got a decent attack, but horrible in defence. How do you think this one's going to go?
Well, I think City are going to win. City have won 26 of their last 27 midweek matches, Premier League matches at home.
Jeez.
So I think they're just going to continue on that trend and beat Brentford comfortably, especially after dropping points against Chelsea. Yeah,
I think Erling Haaland, the big robot, will be fired up because he should have scored at least twice, probably, for his standards, those headers and things like that.
He had an XG of 1.71 against Chelsea. So
crazy, yeah.
He should have at least scored one.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go hat-trick for big Erling. I feel like he doesn't have many weeks off where he doesn't score, and he'll be fired up. De Bruyne will be looking for him every play. Rodri will set him up as well. So I reckon he's going to have a big one. And this one could be a bit ugly for Brentford. Their defense is just not good enough. I wouldn't be surprised if they score because as Man City has shown, even the last couple of months, like the Chelsea game, they're not that great on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're going to absolutely demolish them at home, especially they'll be filthy that they drew to Chelsea, so they'll be fired up and Pep will be fired up.
100%.
To start off Matchweek 26, we're going to be doing the show after this one, so let's touch on that. Thursday morning, that is Australian time, Liverpool versus Luton Town. This could be even more of a whomping. Luton have been a bit up and down. They weren't too bad against Man U, but surely the league leaders just absolutely smash them.
Yeah, they're probably not getting points for reward, are they, Luton? Really?
No, they're not playing too bad.
Especially against the bigger clubs. Like they've played really well, but they lost to Arsenal. They didn't get any points.
Lost one goal
to Manchester United.
Or even Chelsea, they lost by 1 goal, I think.
Yep.
Arsenal, Man
exactly.
United.
So they're just not getting reward for points, but I don't think they'll get any points here against Liverpool at Anfield.
No chance.
Liverpool, you can basically guarantee them scoring at least 3 goals a game, particularly at Anfield.
Yep.
With their attack, and they've lost just one of their previous 54 Premier League games at Anfield.
54. Imagine if you're at that one game out of the 54.
A little bit of impromptu trivia here.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
What was that other loss? Who was that loss against? Stats guy.
Oh, that's a great question, Marcus. That's because I'll
give you a clue. They're not in the Premier League at the moment.
Oh, it's not. I was going to say no. was going to say Norwich for some reason. That's in the back of my head, but it's not Norwich. No, it's not.
It was Leeds.
Leeds, was
Jesse Marsh's Leeds.
That's
fellow Americans.
Yeah, American, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last side to beat Liverpool.
There you go. Good little trivia there. Yeah,
there we go.
We've got two trivia. I don't mind that. I should have probably got that one. Leeds. I do remember that game. That was a great win. But imagine if you're a Liverpool fan, that's the only game you've been to out of those 54. You probably think you're cursed and you wouldn't go to any other games because they never lose it. Hardly ever lose at Anfield, obviously.
Yep.
So we're going Liverpool, Man City to absolutely whomp them in the 2 midweek games coming up over the next couple of days. Let's have a look at the Aussies abroad, all Aussie football adventures, we like to call it.
Yep.
We'll start with the women's. What have we got?
Let's do it.
Looking at Matildas players specifically.
Yeah, well, we got Steph Catley, Caitlin Ford, and Kyra Cooney-Cross all played for Arsenal in their win over Manchester United. I think they were 3-0 up at halftime and they were just
dominated,
cruising.
yeah.
I think it ended up being 3-1 or something like that.
Yep.
But in front of 60,000 people, which is great for the women's game.
First sellout, women's sellout at the Emirates.
At the Emirates,
yeah, which is awesome. The game has grown so quickly, especially not just since the World Cup, but especially the WSL. That's bloody awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
What about our other women in the WSL stats guy?
We got Wheelers, Everton beat Gorry and Macca's, West Ham 2-0. I think West Ham would have liked their chances because they've been in decent form since they've got Gorry.
Yep.
And now they go back to 10th. I just need to double check the table. I'm pretty sure they're back to 10th, so they'll be filthy with that. Everton, Wheeler's been pretty good for Everton as well, so she'll be happy that they got a win. But those two teams, I'm just going to double check the table. You got Everton 9th, so they needed that one, jumped back above West Ham, and then West Ham 10th. I think, did we discuss before that only the last team gets relegated? I'm pretty sure in the WSL. I'm pretty sure that's right. And Bristol City are only on 6 points, so they'll be definitely getting that. So West Ham, since Gorry have got a couple of wins, they're all right from relegation, but they definitely need to be a bit better in defence to compete with the best teams.
And look, there were plenty of players other in Europe, Matildas especially, getting minutes, but not really scoring or assisting or putting a headline to come into this segment. But Hayley Rasso did come on very late for Real Madrid. We'll put her in there because Real Madrid is just the Galacticos, probably just the best football club in the world and most famous football club.
Yep.
She came off the bench and they won really late on. So
so there we go. She was a part of it.
Yeah, she would have played a part.
She did play a part. All right, that's the women's, all the Matildas, which we absolutely love. A bit of men's. Lot going on in the men's, actually. Borough, which is pretty much Australia FC at the moment with the amount of Aussies going on at Middlesbrough. What happened there?
Yeah, they beat Leicester. Leicester are cruising. I think they were on track for a records championship points total.
They were, yeah. They probably still are.
I think the record is 106, I believe.
Yep.
For the championship. Leicester are well on their way to getting at least 100 points.
Yeah, they're already on 78, and I think they obviously play extra games in the championship. They've only played 33 games. So
yeah, exactly. So there's still like at least another 10, 11 games there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Borough were a little bit out of form as well. They were struggling to score goals, but Sammy Silvera found his way on the score sheet with a Riley McGree assist. So a little bit of Aussie partnership there.
Just bring every Aussie to
it was great.
Yeah.
So they ended up winning 2-1, I believe. Jamie Vardy also scored in that game.
Yep.
Joe Gauci, after his move to Villa, he was in the squad. I just want to mention that.
I can't believe he made the squad. That's awesome.
He made the squad against Fulham, obviously sat on the bench while Emi Martinez made some nice saves, the stats guy mentioned.
Yep.
But you want to talk about Teddy Yengi?
Yeah. Yengi, the younger brother of
Cassini,
that we've talked up before. He played for the Socceroos, but his younger brother scored a winner for Livingston in Scotland. I keep a good track of Scotland. I'm actually filthy in the Scottish League because Celtic are now second for the first time in 2 years, which I'm filthy about because
Brendan Rodgers out.
I don't mind Brendan Rodgers, but they're the most savage fans.
I think he's a horrible manager.
Well,
I think he's terrible.
I think they'll still be all right. But I'm getting sidetracked. Livingston got their first league win since October because of the Aussie Yengi's goal. So they won 1-0. They haven't won in the league since October.
That's pretty crazy.
It's probably the worst form of any European or any
club
probably in the world. It's pretty bad. So
yeah, it's pretty horrendous.
They were very happy. They're still last, but Yengi, I'm very happy that he got on the score sheet. And the Yengi brothers are going really well overseas. So I think people are starting to know their name. Yeah. What else we got?
Also, we got Martin Boyle for Hibs, Petrados and Cummings in the league in India all found their way on the score sheet.
In India, nice.
So I think Petrados and Cummings, they both found the back of the net in a 4-2 win, I believe.
Yep.
But Alessandro Ceccardi as well. He's destined for promotion at the top of Serie B with Parma.
Wait. Parma or Parma?
It's Parma. It's Parma. It's Parma. It's
even Parma culture.
Cut that out, Gerald. It's Parma.
You're something in the back of your mind.
It's Parma. Yeah, it's the club. It's the Misogan Parma.
That's another argument for saying Palmer. The club's called Palmer.
The club's called Palmer.
Palmer culture.
Well,
yeah. They don't even probably know what Palmer is, but
they're going to finish top. And anyways, back to the show. He's getting sought after by some big clubs in Italy, and I think he's even been rumoured for the Premier League as well. So yeah, he'll be playing in Serie A.
Where was he before that? Was he in that A League? No.
No. He's always been
in Italy, hasn't he? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. We've covered a bit of Matildas, a bit of Socceroos, but I think that's it, Marcus. We've covered a wide range there. Check out Football Today AU and Football Today Pod all over the socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Check out some of the fun football challenge videos we did. We've got some other evergreen content, including the top 10 Aussies in the Premier League. Check that out on YouTube. We had a few arguments on that about poor old Brett Emerton that I forgot about. Aaron Moore, I think, definitely has to be in there.
You had Tim Cahill in an unbelievable position. So
I might have had Tim Cahill a bit lower, so I'll get him DM from him later maybe. So check out everything on the socials and check out our show on Thursday, which we're going to do another preview, and then we're going to have an interview with Code Sports journalist Aaron Smith. But we'll be back later this week, and thank you very much, Marcus.
Love your work, Stats Guy.
Thank you very much, Leah, for the trivia question, Joe behind the camera, and that's another episode of Football Today done. We're out.